look, my plans have changed again. My brother called and he wanted us to come by, so we're gonna go over there. My mom's gonna go over there, but I'm gonna go to the water first. I want to go to the water and read a little bit and just gaze out in the water. And yeah, it feels good out here, so why not? I don't know when the weather will be like this again, so I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of it, because I definitely won't be able to go to the water tomorrow with them 2 heads I got to do. Okay, yeah, so yeah, we are going to the water. When I say going to the water, it kind of reminds me of that song, I left it in the water. I'm gonna post the name of it. But y'all, I think I could sing for real in real life. I really do be feeling like I can sing. Oh goodness. But yeah, it is so beautiful out here. We getting like just a little hint of sun, and it's 7:14. So typically the sun sets around 9. So I could get a good hour in at the water, and then long as the bugs is not bad. Now, long as the bugs is not bad, let me just say that, because those white bugs is terrible. So long as the bugs are not bad, I can get a good hour in and then go back and pick my girls up, and then we head to my brother's house, which is just right down the road. So yeah, Lord protect that man, guide him and lead him. It really, I be trying not to let stuff affect me, but when I see stuff, I be having to pray. Just pray, because oftentimes we complain about things, and we, just see the bad and stuff. Like, honestly, someone else's situation is a lot worse, and we just have so much to be thankful for. And yeah, I just want to make sure I thank God for everything, because truly it could be me, but yeah, truly thank God for every blessing, every lesson, everything that He has done, everything that He is going to do. I've made it to the water, y'all. Oh, I see it's a few boats out on the water. Y'all hear the bugs and the things. Like, that's the best part about coming out here. You just hear, it just sounds like nature. It just sounds like nature. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pray. And I'm gonna get into my book, about the book that I'm reading and my Bible, because the book that I'm reading, it gives, like, when it's talking about different things, it gives Bible verses to revert to, and I kind of just want to have my Bible so I can just go in my Bible and read what it's talking about, because it'll like talk about something and then it'll be like, see Genesis 20 through, see Genesis chapter 20 verse 1 through 5, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be easier for me to just pick my Bible up and read it in there. And I try not to get in the habit. We have our phones in our hands so much already. I try not to get in the habit of just going to the Bible app on my phone, but actually looking in my Bible and turning the pages of my Bible, you know. And I don't know if I told y'all, my daughter, I just love my Bible cover that my daughter made for me. My daughter made this, y'all. It is so stinking cute. She made the little roses, the pocket, everything. It is so stinking cute. So yeah, and I love it. So yep, I'm gonna get in my Bible. I don't think I showed y'all my new purse. When I went to Colombia. Did I vlog that day that I went to Colombia? I don't think I vlogged this particular time I went to Colombia. This was the second time where I went back to the family park. And I went to the park. I was by myself then, so yeah, I didn't vlog. I was by myself, and I went to a few stores. Like I went to Whole Foods because we don't have a Whole Foods here in our area, and I wanted to try their hot bar. And then they had a few stores around that Whole Foods, like a Marshall's, a Burlington, and all of those things. So I went down the road to it, and I ended up finding this bag, and I feel like I am in my like grown woman era where I can't be like toting the little bags. Like I feel like I just have way too much stuff for the little bags. So I found this bag, and y'all look how cute it is. Like, and it has all of these pockets, and I can put my Bible, I can put my book in it, like whatever I need. And then I went to the Dollar Tree and I got some little cute little things. Like I got this little notebook to put in here. I got some pens. And this, you know, it got to go in there. Hands down, best thing to clean your glasses with, okay? Best thing to clean your glasses with. I got some highlighters, which these I should have just got like the basic colors, you know, like the light pink, the yellow, those type of colors, because blue is not gonna work in my Bible, and it got glitter in it, so it's not gonna work in my Bible. But I got those in there anyway. What else did I get? I got these. I just have lotion in them. Y'all, I love lotion. I do not like being ashy. Under no circumstances do I like being ashy. So I'm gonna always have some lotion with me, and if I don't have any lotion, it's gonna be a problem. Like, I'm gonna need to get some lotion. If I feel my hands, that tightness on my hands from the ash, no, it's not gonna work. But I like these because they feel, it's like a little gushy type thing. I got 2 of those. I got it in another color. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. So I got it in blue. So yeah. And then I got like, I feel like a grandma when we used to go to church, and your grandma used to pull out that Ziploc bag of candy. Like, y'all, I have a Ziploc bag of candy. Now, these are not like peppermints. They are the cherry flavor. We used to eat these back in the day, but they wasn't this color. They used to be like all different colors, like the green, the red, the yellow. Like it used to be all different colors, and they used to be longer, but these taste just like those. Me and my mom had found these in Roses. And then I have some hand sanitizer. Just all little knickknacks. I got these to put in my purse, you know, just in case. Y'all, what's the name of y'all car? My car is named Faith. And the reason I named my car Faith, because it took some faith to get her, okay? I was in a situation, and I'll give y'all a real quick story. Last year, and I got my car in June last year. Did I? I think I got my car in June. I think I got my car June of last year. So it had to be May. Anyway, last year, my car, I had a 2004 GMC Yukon. I had that car for years. Let me tell y'all, it had over 300,000 miles on it. I know for sure. That was my baby. That was my baby. Her name was Big Bertha, and me and that car hadn't been through some things. You hear me? Me and that car hadn't been through some things. And so one day I was at the store, and I just like, it started kind of like shaking, and it was almost like it was about to cut off, but it didn't. And so I'm like, dang, like, you know, what's wrong? So I ended up getting home, and it was fine. I ended up like driving it to a shop that was right up the road one day, and they were like telling me that I needed to get my spark plugs changed and things like that. And they were saying that it was the same spark plugs from when the car was made and all that type of stuff, and they were bad. So they wanted to charge me like $2,000 to get my spark plugs changed and get a tune up basically and all that stuff. So I was like, I ain't paying all that kind of money. So I went to kind of like doing some research, because I'm like, okay, if I just get the parts, I can just get somebody to put it on. So the parts still ended up like running pretty high for the parts. So I ended up calling this other shop, and the guy was basically like, he would charge me like, I think it was like $500 to get it done, and that included the parts. So I was like, okay, well, that's the fraction of the price that the other shop gave me. So it's like, okay. So I took it up there to him, and he did do like the spark plugs and rewire, and you know, he did the tune up. But after he done the tune up, he was like, that's not your issue. So he went and did some more work, and he basically told me like, it's your motor. One of the cells in your motor has went out, and so you're gonna have to get a new motor. So I wasn't trying to invest that kind of money, and I already had said another thing that I learned: you got to be careful what you say, because I had been saying like, I need to get me a new car. And the reason I was saying that is because, being that my car was old, I wasn't able to travel like in my car. So I wanted a car that, if need be, I can travel in. But if I don't want to, then I can rent a car. You know what I'm saying? That's always the option. But I wanted something that if I needed to go 2-3 hours away, I can go without a problem. You know, not saying that my car would have gave me a problem, but I didn't try to put Big Bertha on the road like that. You know. So I was like, yeah, I needed to get me a car, but I didn't want to get one right then. I was kind of, you know, trying to wait it out. But no, God said it's time. It was time for you to get a car right then. So I ended up going like a month without having a car. It's like a month or 2. I want to say it's like 2 months without having a car. But the good thing is, my brother, he works for a rental car company, so I was able to rent some cars. That worked out. And then the guy that I was talking to at the time, he ended up having an accident in his, let me show you how God worked this thing out. He ended up having an accident in his car, so the insurance ended up paying for him to get a rental. And because me and him was together, you know, and I had a trip to go on to with my daughter with her AAU, we ended up able to drive a rental to go to her trip. So like it worked out perfectly. And like y'all, when I tell you God got a plan, God has a plan. And the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's like, oh, like he already knew. Like, oh, so quick backstory. The guy that I was talking to at the time, me and him started talking January of last year, right? And this was, of course, before I started this journey, but this is leading up to it. Me and him started talking January off of Facebook dating. And you know, we was talking, the vibes was vibing, and you know, all of the things. And we ended up crossing the lines and having sex. And so of course after that, you know, we're all lovey-dovey and da 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 da. And you know, when you're lovey-dovey, you miss things that you shouldn't have missed, or had you not crossed those lines, you wouldn't have missed them. And so we ended up, you know, just hanging out, doing all the things together, blah blah blah. And basically, like within, I'll say about 2 months, month and a half, 2 months, I started to feel this pull that God was pulling me in. And at the time, I didn't know what it was. It just was a lot of tears. I cried a lot to, at the time, my best friend Whitney. I cried a lot of tears to her. Like, I was just confused at what I was feeling. I didn't really know how to explain the feelings that I was feeling, but I just knew I was feeling a need to follow God's plan and get on the right track. So needless to say, me and him, we stopped having sex. And it wasn't because I was on this journey. Initially, it was just like I just stopped having the urge to have sex. Like, I can't explain it, y'all, but I just was like, yeah, I'm not doing that no more. Like, and even if I wanted to do it, like, I didn't feel right doing it. Like, I couldn't. It was nothing. I'm not gonna say it was anything wrong with him or anything. It's just I did not feel like, I just didn't feel the urge to have sex anymore or any of that. And so of course he was thinking like, you know, like what's wrong with me type deal. And in his mind, he, you know, he's a man. He like, you know, you can't start with something, you know, we done been having sex and then now you stop, you know. In his mind, that's what he wants to do. So I was kind of like stringing him along, really, because looking back at it, and you know, now looking back at it, because I was telling him like, you know, it's nothing wrong with you, but I couldn't really explain the feelings that I was feeling. Like, I couldn't really even talk to him about the feelings I was feeling because I felt like he wouldn't understand. Because I didn't even understand them. So fast forward, we went another few months and we did not have sex still. And he was just basically like, he ain't with it. So that's around the time I started watching Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. And I think I told y'all this in a previous vlog where he was saying, ain't nobody pipe gang worth going to hell for. And so at that moment, I knew he was talking to me. And yeah, I made up in my mind right then and there that it was no more. Like, I was no longer going to be having sex. And I was going to get on this path with God. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know any of that. I just knew at that moment I was no longer going to have sex outside of marriage and sin. So, started watching, Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell, getting in my word, reading my word. I was recording Facebook videos at the time of like scripture of the day type things, and I would post them on Facebook and TikTok and things of that nature. And then me and him ended up talking again, and I just kind of told him, I was like, look, this what it is. Like, I'm no longer gonna have sex. I'm no longer gonna partake in the things that I was partaking in, drinking, things of that nature. Like, I'm no longer doing that. I'm no longer listening to secular music. Like, I'm gonna be in my word. I'm gonna be all about God type deal. And so I was like, either you gonna come along with me on the journey, or this is when we part ways. And he was just basically like, in so many, like, he said a lot, but in so many words, he was basically saying like, nah, that's not what he on. That's not what he trying to do. And when I remember very distinctively when we had that conversation and the way he was talking, I said to him, if you would have said these things to me when we initially started talking, we would have never made it here. Because the things that he was saying was like, totally, it wasn't anything disrespectful. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't anything disrespectful, but it was basically like undermining everything about the word. It was so worldly. Let me just tell you, it was so worldly. And I was just like, yeah, we wouldn't have even made it here. So he ended up going back to his house, and he had said we were supposed to go. My daughter had another trip coming up where we were supposed to go to Indiana for AAU basketball, and he was supposed to go with us. And we had planned to go, and we had planned to kind of like split up the cost of going. Sorry, y'all. We had planned like splitting up the cost of going. And he had ended up telling me, he was like, yeah, I'm still gonna go have with you, and I'm still gonna look out, da 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 da. So the day he had left, he had the money, which it was $500. He had the money, and he was handing it to me, but he had this look on his face like I really don't want to give it to you, but I'll give it to you. And so I reached out to grab it, and I realized that he still had his hand on it. And then I looked at his face, and I seen his face like that. And so I told him, I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. And he was like, you sure? Because I'm just trying to be a man of my word. And, and I was like, nah, don't even worry about it. And that day before, I had talked to my friend Whitney again. And I was like, she was like, Tamika, I think you definitely can go and get you a car and go to the Kia place, and I think you'll be fine. Just go do it. And so I made up in my mind that night that I was going to do it. I didn't tell nobody. I just said, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to step out on faith. I got up, I prayed. I asked him, I was like, can I use your car? I got somewhere to go. I ain't even tell him where I was going. I went to the kid place. I walked in there. I told him, I said, look, this is what I need. This is what I need. And they were like, all right, sit down. Let's talk. So I ended up coming out with the 2025 with 0 mileage on it, no down payment. That was nothing but God. So that's where I get the name of my car from, Faith. And that was my last, I'm not even gonna call it a relationship because we was only together for like 4 or 5 months, but that was my last situationship with a man. And since then I have been on this journey, and since then God has replenished way more than that $500 that I didn't take from him. We went on our trip to Indiana. Me and my daughter was able to do everything that we needed to do. I did not drive my new car up there. I rented a car. I was able to rent a car to go there. It was a wonderful road trip, a wonderful experience that me and my daughter had. We got to dilly-dally a little bit around Indy. That was my first time in Indiana. And yeah, so at the time I was nervous. I didn't know what it was gonna look like, but y'all, God showed up and he showed out, and he definitely had a plan for me. So would I have said I will do it another way? No, I will not do it another way, because God already knew what I needed and how I needed it. So yeah, look, I didn't talk to y'all for 30 minutes and I'm supposed to be reading. So let me get in my book. Let me try to at least read half of a chapter, because y'all, I'm doing it.
Overflowing out into the street and into the neighbors' yards on either side. Balloons, lit candles, stuffed animals.
I think I'm gonna do an angled. I'm doing it.
I'm Austin Jackson, and my team is proud to be the official injury lawyers.
All right, we doing it. We doing it. We doing it. I did it, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, y'all. Look, y'all, I did it. I did it, y'all. I like it. It's cute. Yes, I like it. No more ponytail, of course. can feel the air on my neck and everything. Yes, I like it. Absolutely, I love it. I am on the way to my client / my aunt house to get it done this morning. Y'all, this morning I got up, I made my lunch for today. I did me a sweet potato and some ground beef. Well, I did 2 sweet potatoes and some ground beef. And for breakfast, I did a cup of orange juice and I did a bagel with some almond butter. So yeah, and I have my water. I did have to get gas this morning. So the first gas station I went to, I think their power is out because when I got to the gas pump, the pump wasn't on clearly. So I ended up having to go back up the road to go to another gas station. And then after I left the gas station, I realized I didn't put on a deodorant this morning. So I stopped by the store to get me some deodorant, and then I was on my way. So yeah, eventful morning this morning, but a great morning. I am not complaining. I am almost to my client house / aunt. And yeah, this is gonna be a fantastic day. And yeah, I just wanted to come back and show y'all my cut. I love it. I love every bit of it. I was at first, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. After I recorded that video for y'all, I was like, do I really want to do it? Do I really want to do it? And y'all, my hair is so thick to where I broke. I had just bought a pair of scissors yesterday, and I broke them. Yeah, I ended up breaking them, cutting my hair. My hair is so thick. So yeah, but once I had started, I was like, oh yeah, I can't stop now. Like, I gotta go ahead on and finish it. So I got another little pair of scissors that I had in the house, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna finish this cut. And so yeah, that's what I did. But yeah, it turned out good. I like it. And so yeah, I will try to get a video of my aunt and my little cousin hair when I finish, if I remember. I'll try. But anyway, I hope y'all have an amazing Saturday. Well, Saturday would have been past by the time y'all see this video, but I have an amazing day whenever y'all are watching this. I'm not sure when this footage will be uploaded. I am trying to figure out the best days for me to upload, and how long my video should be. Like, I'm still trying to figure all of that out. So yeah, still trying to figure all the things out. But yeah, I'll call y'all back